welcome to another NES Mods video tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you about text editing, and this will allow you to edit the text in any NES game. This is useful because there are numerous types of mods you can do, and this can correlate with some of them and make the game just more towards some kind of theme you're trying to go with. Like, for instance, if you go to the new mods page, I have the Santa Mario mod I made for holiday season. And I changed, the name from Mario to Santa just to make it more towards what I was going with. Of course, you can also do things, as you get better with modding, you can do things like maybe go into a game like Legend of Zelda and edit the value of an item so that it costs less than what you would normally have to pay just to make the game easy for yourself. Or you can make it harder by making things cost more, whatever you want to do. And by doing text altering, you can do something like change the price displayed in the game. So anytime you play this, or somebody who plays this who doesn't know about the mod will know that the price has been changed and will know what to pay for it and what to expect. Now, to start with this, you need to open up your FCEUXD SP and then open up your ROM. In this case, we're using Super Mario Brothers. And as you can see, there's a few pieces of text. There's Mario, there's World, there's Time, and then there's, one-player game, two-player game, just some things like that. There's not a lot of text in here. It's a pretty small and simple game, and so it's a good little thing to show you some of the things you can do. So go ahead and go to Tools and open up the PPU viewer, and you're going to see a window with a lot of tiles in it. Now, if you look to the upper right-hand corner of it, you should see numbers 0 through 9, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, Z, G, and all the way to the rest of the alphabet. And if you'll notice down here, right next to where it says tile, whenever you hover over any tile, it'll have the $sign and a 2-digit hex number. It'll range from 00 all the way to FF, and that's a full range right there. Now, we're going to have to create the table file that's going to be used to show in the hex editor the text. So go ahead and open up Notepad or whatever your text editor that you typically use, and get ready to type some things. Now, the numbers are optional. It just depends on what you're doing. Something like Super Mario Brothers, there's not a lot of numbers used, so you don't really need to bother with it for now. We're just gonna, in this tutorial, we're just going to do Mario. But if you want, you can go ahead and go over the and add the numbers on your own later. Now, what you're gonna do is hover your cursor over the letter A, and you notice down by the word tile, you'll see the $sign and then the number 0 followed by an A. So you're going to want to go into Notepad and type in 0A followed by the equal sign and then an uppercase A, since the letter in the palette is uppercase. Now that you've done this, go ahead and proceed to B, and you'll see it's 0B, and then type in 0B, and then an equal sign, and then B, and then go to C, D, E, F, and keep going. But don't think it just goes, it's going to go to 0G once you get to G. In fact, it's actually going to go down to 10 because it's hexadecimal, and that's just how the system works. It's a base 16 system, meaning it has 16 characters, 0 through 9 making up the first 10, and then A through F making up the remaining numbers. Now you'll go to 10 and then just continue down and get to V. Then you can go back to W, and then you'll see 24 is a blank space, and this can be particularly useful for us since it can basically be used to indicate a space in between words if you're, depending on what you're doing, if you're maybe altering a sentence or a string. So you can go to Z, press enter to get to the next line, and type in 24. And you type in equals, and then you have to type in a symbol to symbolize the space. In fact, you can actually just press space and you get the blank spot, and that'll show up as the blank spot on the emulator or on the hex editor. Sorry for that. And go ahead and save it, and you have to go to save as and then type in whatever you want. You should name it something along the lines of text.tbl, and then you have to go to save as type and make sure all files are selected. Then make sure to make it easier on yourself and save it in the same directory as everything else. So just make sure it's there, and then you can go ahead and save it. Then once you've done that, you can go ahead and exit out of FCUXDSP, and you can exit out of Notepad as well. Then we're moving on to modding or changing the actual text in the game. To do this, open up Hexpose, and then scroll down and select Super Mario Brothers, and press enter. Now that you've done this, press escape, then press over so you're under tables, and then scroll down till you have the load table highlighted, and press enter. And it'll look for anything with the file extension .tbl as shown here, and it will allow you to choose from it. You can also navigate there by highlighting the one above it where it says directory, hitting enter, and it'll take you into the folder back, and you can navigate around from there, but it's tedious, and that's why I recommend putting your TBL file in the same folder as everything else. So go ahead and make once your TBL file is highlighted, go ahead and load it by pressing enter. Now that it's now over in this little middle part, this wide middle column, you're seeing a lot of hex characters. It's always going to be 2-digit, and it can be just has a lot of different things. And then over here you're going to see your letter representation based on your table. Now you're going to see all these random letters, numbers, and it does not go to anything. It's just game code that is part of the design and control. It just happens to have the same value as letters. Do not, and I repeat, do not edit this, or you will mess up the game, and you could basically waste your time. Now go ahead and press escape and go over to search and make sure text is highlighted. Press enter, and it'll bring up a little text search. Now one thing to note is that since in the .tbl file the letters you entered, hopefully after the equal sign, are in capitals or uppercase, you'll have to search for the words in uppercase. Now for this, we're just going to change Mario's name around. So go ahead and type in Mario and make sure it's fully capitalized. And if you did everything correctly, you will get a return, and it'll have the first letter highlighted of Mario, as you can see right there. Now just press tab so that the M is now highlighted in a white instead, and that means that the text side of the editor is active. So we're going to have to change it to a 5-letter word, basically. The reason is there's some code in here, and what it does is it just has to do with loading of the tiles, because a lot of the game is just loading of tiles for the whole seeing everything. And so you do not edit that, and you can't edit past that because it just ends it and goes on to the next thing. Now, it has to be 5 characters. There is ways where you can expand a ROM and add more things in, but it can make it harder for you to do things like if you want to, burn it onto some EEPROMs and then, solder it into a cart. You wouldn't be able to do that. So let's just stick with something simple, 5 letters for now, and we're just gonna go with Luigi, just to make things different and noticeable. Now that you have that highlighted, you can see it's now Luigi. But we're not done yet. Since there's multiple instances of Mario, you cannot be entirely sure which one it is. So just go ahead and go back to the search and type in Mario again. You'll get another hit. So type in Luigi. And make sure you always keep changing whatever name for consistency, and keep searching until you no longer get any more returns for your search, and that's when you've changed them all. So we're just going to go through and keep searching for it, and now we get a result saying string not found. That means that we've altered all of the words Mario in there, so it's no longer there. So when we save it, it will always it'll show anything that was formerly Mario as Luigi instead. So we can go and press escape, scroll back over to file, and hit save, and it will tell us changes have been saved. So I'm going to go back to your folder and open up Super Mario Brothers in the FCUXDSP, your emulator. And you'll see right there, you have successfully altered the text because now it says Luigi instead of Mario. It doesn't have to be Luigi, it can be whatever you want it to be. Now remember, the only way to know if you truly modded something correctly is go in and check it yourself. Let's go ahead in here, duck past Bowser, and you get to the part where toadstool tells you something. And right there you can see it's no longer Mario, it's Luigi, and you can clearly see it's still Mario. Um, that's about it. Now remember, this has multiple uses. It can really enhance your game a little bit, and it's very useful. All right, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and rate the video, and keep watching for new video tutorials.